Shahbaz Bhatti, the man who wanted to make this world tolerant, was assassinated in Islamabad. He was assassinated in broad daylight just when he came out of his mother's house. He was 42 and a federal minister. A man of great promise was brutally cut down in the prime of his life. We mourn his death, but with the passage of time, the mourning of death should give way to celebrating his life. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to celebrate the life that Shahbaz Bhatti lived, the values he cherished and fought for. Who was Shahbaz Bhatti? In his own words, Shahbaz was a man who wanted to make this world more beautiful by delivering a message of peace, togetherness, unity, and tolerance. To make Pakistan and this world more beautiful and more tolerant, Shahbaz Bhatti launched interfaith initiatives. He sought to demolish walls that divided and replace them with bridges that unite and connect. He was an integral part of our struggle for the restoration of democracy. He preached tolerance, love, and togetherness. He pleaded harmony between faiths. Prayer leaders invited him to speak in mosques. He did more than speaking. He launched for the first time a network of interfaith harmony committees at the district level. Today, we have a broad-based national consensus against terrorism and extremism. But a decade ago, there was no consensus. As a member of the Pakistan People's Party and the first minister for minorities and interfaith harmony, Shahbaz Bhatti strove to build a national consensus, and finally, in July 2010, religious leaders issued a joint statement denouncing terrorism. Shahbaz Bhatti played a critical role in it. Ladies and gentlemen, Shahbaz Bhatti wore several hats. In 1985, he founded the Christian Liberation Front. Its aim was to restore rights of religious minorities and to promote tolerance. The country then was under a bigoted dictatorship. It did not favor religious freedoms to the non-Muslims, freedoms as promised by Quaid-e-Azam. The dictatorship went too far. It even deleted the word freely from the preamble of the Constitution in relation to the right to worship of non-Muslims. That fraud on the Constitution was only reversed in the 18th Amendment spearheaded by the Pakistan People's Party. The word freely in relation to professing religion by every citizen has been restored. The Christian Liberation Front of Shahbaz Bhatti was a bold initiative. The front launched the first national campaign against the misuse of the blasphemy law. No wonder that it was violently opposed, but he was not deterred. In 2002, he co-founded the All Pakistan Minority Alliance. The APMA served as a megaphone and a platform for the rights of minorities and promoting interfaith harmony. Bhatti was elected the head of the organization. As part of the Pakistan People's Party under my mother, Martyr, Bhutto, who held him in high esteem. Bhatti was pained by the misuse of blasphemy laws to settle personal scores. In keeping with the vision of his leadership, he valiantly fought for fair investigation in the case of Asya Noreen, the Christian woman sentenced to death for blasphemy, a charge she has always denied. We pay homage to the courage of Shahbaz Bhatti. Shahbaz Bhatti, the first minister for minority and interfaith harmony in the Pakistan People's Party-led government. At the time, he had said he was accepting the position to help the marginalized and also to send a message of hope to the hopeless. The message of the Pakistan People's Party, which he has been struggling for the rights of the disenfranchised for 5 decades. Bhatti once said, "Jesus is the nucleus of my life, and I want to be his true follower through my actions by sharing the love of God with the poor, needy, and suffering people of Pakistan." The mission Shahbaz had undertaken was not an easy one. The path he had chosen to tread was embedded with thorns. He knew the dangers. He had received death threats not once but many times over. But he was not deterred. He knew the way and was not afraid to lead. A week before his assassination, Bhatti told the media that threats and warnings would not force me to back down. Ladies and gentlemen, may I take this opportunity to say that we share the concerns over the misuse of blasphemy laws. This is the concern of not only the Christian community, but all of us. It is my concern too. These laws have been used as a tool by extremists to settle personal scores. They have been used to grab properties of Christians and other non-Muslims. The blasphemy law carrying mandatory death penalty. We must prevent their misuse. We will. Ladies and gentlemen, the Pakistan People's Party believes in defending the rights of all minorities. For the first time, it provided for 4 seats under the leadership of Shahbaz Bhatti in the Senate for non-Muslim Pakistanis. Senate elections are due tomorrow. The Pakistan People's Party has nominated Mr. Anwar Deen, a Christian, to the one reserved seat from Sindh. In addition, we have nominated Ms. Krishna Kohli to a general seat for women. During the last Pakistan People's Party government, it was decided that August 11th will be observed as Minorities Day every year. It was done to imbibe the true meaning of the Qaed's speech on August 11th, 1947 before the Constituent Assembly of Pakistan. In that historic speech, the Qaed laid down the state policy in the following words. He said, and I quote, "You may belong to any religion or caste or creed that has nothing to do with the business of the state. If we want a stable and prosperous Pakistan, we must revert to this foundational principle enunciated by the Qaed. A great disservice was done by dictatorship in its drift away from the path envisioned by the Qaed. It was a great disservice to privatize jihad. The project Private Jihad has brought the state and society face to face with existential threat. We must dismantle the project Private Jihad. We must drive out from our midst militants, extremists, and religious fanatics. We will. We will fight sectarianism, militancy, and extremism. We will fight it for peace and security. We will fight it and restore the confidence of the people, Muslims and non-Muslims alike. I also wish to pay tribute to those courageous individuals who have suffered for the cause of interfaith harmony. Those who have suffered for upholding the right of the non-Muslims freely to profess and practice their religion. They are the heroes and heroines of this nation. the bigots and extremists continue to exploit religious-based laws. They want to impose on the people their own version of religious edicts. The Pakistan People's Party rejects their narrow and bigoted narrative of Islamic tenets. We will continue to oppose and resist them. Ladies and gentlemen, Shahbaz Bhatti's assassination at the hands of bigots was not just a loss of a political party, it was a loss of the nation. May the soul of Shahbaz Bhatti rest in eternal peace. Thank you very much.